Right, here we go. Episode 5 again.
No, this is definitely the first time, man.
100%. Yeah, I totally didn't fuck up and accidentally not record your audio. That never happened.
That was like a testing phase, you know.
Hmm. A testing phase that was fully edited, fully uploaded, and then realised halfway through the YouTube premiere. Yeah, that was fun. I woke up an hour after the premiere had started, so it still had 33 minutes left. I was so
Yeah,
fucking angry. But yeah, as you can probably take, guys, the first recording just fucked up. It
yeah.
didn't record Will's audio for some silly reasons with OBS and Windows updates. It should not happen again, as long as I'm cautious enough to fucking check that every week now, which I probably will be.
Yeah,
But
you'll never let yourself live this time.
no, I won't. I will check it every week. But yeah, what was supposed to be discussed last week, what was discussed last week, and we spent a full hour and a half talking about it, is
That
now,
went on. That stretched out for a long while last week.
oh, an hour
It's a shame
33
that's all
minutes.
gone.
This is the thing, you can hear me. It's just there's silence when you're talking, so it seems like I'm just talking to myself for an hour.
All right. Tell you what, send me the recording. I'll voice over.
Yeah, I'll send you a 39 gigabyte fucking file.
All right, I'll voice over it in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, that's about the time when you'll finish the download.
Hey, I have gigabit speed internet now. Relax.
I'm looking for some. It'll probably take
You
that long for
not.
me to download. Mate, I'm limited to like fucking 89 meg.
Why?
Oh, it's the basically the cables that run under us. They're not up to
Oh.
date. Plus, it's
Uh,
in the center of this town and everything. They can't be asked to fucking redo it all. You know how it
yeah, I
goes.
mean, whenever I was getting fiber optic 900, it was like still saying how they're still laying loads of it down. They hope to have it all finished like 3 years from now.
Yeah,
And luckily, they'd already done here. So,
yeah, you got lucky then with that. I mean, I know where I used to live with my parents. They now, Virgin have decided, fuck it, we're not going to wire you from the box. We're going to wire you directly now. So you're going to get faster speeds.
hmm,
So they've taken out the little link box and they've just directly wired straight to the houses now. Which is mental in my opinion, but yeah. Anyways, that's just like 3 minutes of us rambling about random shit, so my apologies,
yeah,
people. So, last week we spent time discussing Hogwarts Legacy.
that was
What we're go-
actually all we discussed.
That's all we discussed. There was a little bit of spoken. We will go over most of this again this week. For us, it's going to be major recap pretty much, but now that Will's got more of an understanding of the topic already, it can kind of be progressed quite easily. And we can go over a lot of the topics in a bit more depth. So we'll be splitting this up, and all things should go well. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
I've got some hope. So, Will,
You're a foolish man to have hope.
I know, right? All these years of hope, and what's it got me? Two black eyes and a
Shit.
39 gigabyte of file that's doing nothing. Anyways.
Well then.
um, yeah, as I was saying to you just before, Will, I have completed the campaign now. So, I am actually more capable in giving a better review than I was last week, which is great news. Now that I've put like 30.6 hours into the fucking game. And that, by the way, just to give a heads up, is some side missions. I think I've done about 3 side missions, all the major relationship lines, and the main story. So
How many hours did you say?
30.6.
It's not too bad.
Now,
It's a lot of playtime.
it is, and right at the end, I've technically not fully completed it, but I've completed the main part of that.
Yeah.
It
So you've
basically,
still got like plenty to do.
yeah, like it asks you to get to level 36 to be able to then do the end of year celebration at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happens straight after the story. But you got to be a certain level to do that, and then it's like a celebration to it all. But then the other main mission is to complete your guide that basically is going through and doing all the collectibles and shit. And that's actually a main mission to keep track of. So that's quite interesting too. But I believe we started off last week in discussing in comparison of Forspoken to Hogwarts Legacy's reviews.
Yes. And the just even right off the bat, just the sheer difference in amount of reviews.
Yeah, it's got worse. So last week when we were discussing this, the game had been out for about what 5 days total, 2 days if you
Yeah.
counted the proper release. So we're
Yes.
a full 7 days after that. So you're now talking 9 days in which it's been out properly. Um, back then there was 40,000 reviews, about 48,000, and it was very positive at 94%, and it had just gone down from 95% at 29,000. We are now at a grand total of 96,356 reviews and 93% positive.
Jeez. That is a crazy number to think about after such a short time.
100%. Now, in comparison, Forspoken released on the 24th of January is at 59% positive and has 3,148 reviews.
Such a small number, dude.
Yeah. Now,
That's almost
also,
a month it's been out as well.
yeah. Now, also in comparison, the price of Forspoken is £65. The price of Hogwarts Legacy Standard Edition is £50.
Yeah.
You know, those are some large differences in figures.
And then with the price of it as well, for the gameplay that you're getting, you spend 30 hours on Hogwarts. You spend a third of that time in Forspoken. So you
Yeah.
paid more.
What was it that I completed it
I
in
think it
again?
was 10.5 hours you would have said.
10.6, I think it was, yeah. So 10.6 hours and 12.1 if you count Steam's
Yeah.
time. Just to give the
And
heads up, I actually
and you're
uninstalled.
pretty much done for Spoken as well, unless DLC were to come out. You were saying you're done with for Spoken,
Yeah, I'm not
but
going to
in
touch it.
Hogwarts you're still not done.
So for Spoken, there was still a lot to do, as in side stuff and shit, but none of
But
it
you
had
didn't want to.
interest.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
didn't want to. With
and
Hogwarts, you have the want.
yeah, I had no interest in it. I mean, another thing to go by. Once again, I completed all the achievements in for all the main story thing in Forspoken. I got
Yeah.
24 out of 53 achievements. In Hogwarts, I've completed the entire story, quite a few of the side missions and things like that. I have completed 23 out of 45 achievements, so I've just got over 51%, sorry. So I'm doing quite well on that, but I still want to play more. The game's just grips you and pulls you in.
Yeah.
And the amount of what had gone off within the story and everything extra that had been happening, it was just so much fun. And every bit of it just kept you coming back time and time again. I,
Which is what you want in the game. It's what you want to see.
yeah, 100%. I don't know if you've seen the first mods have come out. First set of mods.
You did say to me about the multiplayer mod being made.
Yes, I was actually thinking of a different one, but that's true. The one you're on about, the creators of Skyrim Together, the co-op Skyrim mod, they've created an already working test build for Hogwarts Legacy co-op, so that you
I'm
can
sure there's
play
gonna
through.
be plenty of people that are gonna want to see that.
Oh, 100%. It sounds like it'll be good fun. But they've already got a test build out within, I think it was like 4 days, 5 days of release. So, you know, they're pushing to get that crap working, and then they'll get it out publicly released for free. So, nothing wrong with that. But the first mod I actually saw after that was someone replace your broom with Shrek.
Um,
Yeah,
where what way is Shrek facing?
away. Let's let's just say that the title of that video is Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life.
Oh God, no!
I'm not even joking.
He's down there getting his onions, man.
Let me see if I can find this. I've seen it about 4 times now on. Oh, someone else has added it so that instead you're riding in Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, that's pretty funny, actually.
Oh, there's some good ones. You know what? I'm gonna share my screen with you, and then I'll share it on this
Oh, please
recording as
do.
well.
I need to see these. I need to see these.
So you got. Oh, come on, push through. Oh, that'll be useful. An FPS hotfix and improved stuttering. That'd be good. So yeah, the first thing I saw was this. See if I can
That's
find
just
this.
a Photoshop image, just to like get more attention.
I'd say so, but I'm not too certain.
Hmm.
This is how it looks with Shrek, or in actuality, that's what
Oh,
people are doing as well.
we got guns, of course.
Yeah, 'cause, you know, that famous Harry Potter video edit.
Shooting Dobby.
Or when Hermione shoots that guy. Oh, they made a mod where it had spears.
But shoots Malfoy, you mean?
No. Neville.
Neville?
Yeah, she when she uses that spell on him to make him fall asleep. No, she uses Patricius, so basically that he turns to stone and just falls to the floor like a rock. Because he catches them as they were about to leave.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of good mods out there. A lot of funny ones too. Wait,
I'm sure there's a lot more to come as well.
you can play as Dobby. Okay, that's great. So yeah, there's quite a few mods out there. There'll be a load more to come, 100%. But as I was telling you last week, the game just looks stunning. I mean, everything about it, in my opinion, it, it just shows the care and love put into the game. To put it simply. Let me switch to Google because heck,
Yeah, I
Bing.
was going to say, you were on Bing. Like, what's that
I'm
all
using
about?
Microsoft Edge. That's
Ugh,
what
that's
it
even
is.
worse.
Actually, Edge ain't that bad. I've got to
Well,
give
I
it
mean,
its dues.
I see Opera GX down there. Why are you not just using that?
Because I use Opera for everything else. Edge is literally for podcast things. Like, literally, I've got the Twitter here. Got the
Fair enough.
Twitter, the YouTube, the BuzzFeed, all that jazz.
Well,
Not
just a real
BuzzFeed.
quick reminder, Rory.
Go on.
This is a recap from last week,
Yes.
so let's not go too off topic.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Any thoughts you have for what you want to look at that's not related to last week? We can just put into for next week.
That's what I'm going to plan to do. This, though, that I'm looking at is Hogwarts Legacy screenshots. Just to show off, you know, how nice the game actually looks. I think
Oh,
is
without a doubt, there's been a lot of effort put in.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, I was talking to my friend Ian. You know him quite well as well.
Hmm.
But we were talking the other day just about how basically he was taking the piss, saying the game was eh. In actuality, he has to admit the game looks stunning. 1 second for let that blurred because my internet is apparently playing funny buggers. TikTok. You can see it, like the textures are starting to
Yeah,
come in.
line by line, dude.
Okay,
Compare it with a fax machine.
bloody wood. But no, as it's actually going down, you can actually see how detailed this is looking. All the details in the wood on the background, the carvings, all the bloody texture to his face and hair. You can probably count each individual strand.
Yeah.
I'm
You
sorry,
can't actually see like different strands of hair.
yeah, that's just mental. I'm sorry, that's just laughable.
What do you think I was laughing?
Each pore though on his face and everything. It's absolutely mad how much time and effort has been put into this. You can even see the Saints symbol there. But no, there's a lot. Oh, there we go. This is instant. Okay. I mean, I think everyone's always had that want to ride a train, one of the rails in Gringotts.
It was really cool to see in the films as well.
Oh yeah, and being able to do so in the game just absolutely stunning. Wow, fax machine's back. It's staying apparently. Okay, but yeah, you get the rough idea of how nice
I
it
mean, look at
actually
that one
looks.
with the sky in the background of Hogwarts. That one looks stunning. Oh,
Oh,
that's a shame.
oh,
Oh,
actually, this is learning a lot quicker.
we got the new fax machines to this model.
Yeah, the complete latest.
I
This is
mean,
what happens when you use
that right
Microsoft
there,
Edge.
though.
Yeah,
That right
every
there is just
bit.
a brilliant image to look at.
Oh yeah, this is one of like the first sites you're actually introduced to a little bit into the game, but everything about it is stunning. And when we get to this bit, you should be able to see the reflection on the water. There it is. Now, if that's still, you can see a clear reflection of the moon, but because it's rippled, it's distorted. But
Which,
even
if
then,
anything, is even cooler to see than just a basic reflected image.
oh, 100%.
To actually do it in rippled water is absolutely great to see.
Oh yeah,
Just the effort that they've put into the details in the backgrounds, even not just stuff up close, but in the background as well.
yeah. I mean, look at this. This is the full feast hall. You can see every bit of food on that table.
Yep.
You can see that woman's weird face. And there's some weird textures on the faces when you zoom in. But everything about that, the fire, bloody candles, it just all looks fantastic. Apart from these faces. You can tell these have been made just to look at briefly, and that's it. Though I do want some of that cake.
Weird cake, man.
Yeah. I want some of this food.
Imagine them be sitting at that feast table, and you go for that giant lollipop next to the cake. Of all things,
I
like,
mean, wouldn't you?
why would you want no? Look at all the other things that are sitting there, and you want a hard rock candy lollipop.
I mean,
Is
I'm
that
more.
Swiss rolls?
I think
is
so,
that just
yes.
is that just a pyramid of Swiss rolls?
Yeah. Have you noticed, by the way, no one's got any of these sweets or buns on their plates?
Hmm. It looks like a pile of mush.
It does.
What is that? That is a pile of mash right there.
Shane just said, obviously they're waiting to have till after their meal, being good little boys and girls. And then you got this little fuck.
Yeah, he's got all the buns, man.
But no, you can actually see like all the textures in the floor and everything. And that's just from
Yeah,
an overhead cutscene. I'd say they've done
yeah,
a phenomenal job there. Anyways, we'll move on because otherwise I could look at the textures all day.
yeah.
That's not good for anyone. But as we were discussing last week, I think we've still got we've still got about 10 minutes left to discuss the game itself before we get on to the other side. That'll be fun. But the game itself, the combat is fluent. As I was telling you last week, they've got the quick select, so you can have 4 spells and set them up on 4 different quick selects to switch between. As I told you last week, I've got like the utility spells, so like invisibility, repairer, Wingardium Leviosa, Lumos, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about. How and you like when you show me one of the screenshots, you basically were only using 4 spells at once.
Yeah,
But you were talking me through how you can actually, when you level your character up, it's one of the first things you want to unlock is having more quick select slots. So you'll
yeah,
basically switch between setups of 4 spells at once.
100%. And to be honest, even if you weren't happy with your quick selects, like I wasn't in the final boss fight, I realized I was using the wrong spell. I'd basically been using Incendio throughout the entire game, couldn't use it in the final boss fight, and I needed it because that was my strongest spell, so I was livid. But
Yeah,
basically, you tap T, which is on mouse and keyboard, anyways, and it'll instantly pull up your spell selection menu, and you can drag and drop them across, and it pauses time while you sort out your spells. So even then, it's quick and easy to do, and you don't have to worry too much. Um, one of the other things we did discuss, as well as spells and how to use them, in combat, the identification markers. So they have different identification markers depending on what type of damage is coming your way.
yeah,
Uh, see if I can pull this up. No, there's nothing major on it. So you've got like an orange one that pops up in front of you if you can use your shield, which your shield is just hold Q on keyboard. If you hold Q, even after they've hit you, basically then you will use a spell called Stupefy, and basically it's just like an instant return attack. Stuns them for a
yeah.
couple seconds and then you move on. Now, if it's red, it means you need to dodge out of the way. Hold down control and you'll roll out of the way. Or if you upgrade later, you've got a little ability that'll get you even further out of the way. Those are basically, it's just something that's, in my opinion, it feels a lot more intuitive because it's like a bright circle that appears around your character's head. And because your character's pretty much always dead center of the screen, it's easy
Yeah.
to see. You're not going to mistake it. Hopefully, you're not going to do what I do and accidentally click the wrong button.
And dive right
Anyways.
into
Oh, I've done that before. um,
it.
it's great with trolls. They bloody their red attack is pretty much, oh yeah, we're gonna run at you now. And if you dive straight into them, sometimes you'll get through their legs, but other times you'll just get fucking ran straight over. It's like, yep, that was fun. I feel like such a dumbass sometimes, but
Say no.
I'm sure you're not, dickhead. They
He, lo-
do have
he loves me really.
they do have a full-on system for crafting, uh, which is used for upgrading your equipment and also installing traits into your equipment. You can look after animals later into the game, the beasts, and you can fly on your broom, uh, create spells, not spells, sorry, create potions. There we
Potions.
go. You can grow plants, whether that be for actual use in combat, because you can use some plants in combat. You can use potions in combat as well. You can also grow basic plants, which will be used to craft stronger equipment. And the other thing, you can find some equipment out and about that you need to actually identify in the room of requirements. But you get to do all this and you get to design your room of requirements, which is
Yeah,
quite
you were
nice.
showing me some more screenshots of that where it's like your own sort of den, and there were some really cool made rooms,
Oh,
like
yeah.
where people put like a lot of time and effort into them.
Oh, 100%. The other thing I will say, the world map of Hogwarts Legacy, as I was showing you before, it's a massive world map. There's still quite a bit of it that I've not fully explored.
Yeah,
To say the least, I've not explored most of it. Been around it briefly, and that's about it. But the world is that big, you'll never fully explore it all. But just in Hogwarts alone, There are so many mysteries in that castle that you can explore, you can find new things. I walked up to a frog that was a statue, went to interact with it because I saw that I could, and it just swallowed me and took me to a room. I was like, what the fuck? Ended up in this room with a chest in, opened the chest, found a door, went to walk through the door, realised it was a 2-story drop. Went, never mind, walked back to the frog and let it swallow me again, so I went back. It's something that you come across so accidental, but it's memorable.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of thing to me that really impacted. Hogwarts felt like it did in the Harry Potter films, where wherever you went, there was a secret to find.
Yeah.
And
That
that
was
to
that
me,
was always was loads of mystery around Hogwarts in the Harry Potter films. No matter how much you saw and how many times you watched, there was always something different that you would see.
exactly. And that does translate into the world itself. There's a lot of mystery still there to explore. Now, it's not as prevalent as Hogwarts, but the fact that they've managed to include probably, I'd have to say, about 250 secrets in Hogwarts itself, and you'd classify that as a small area.
Yeah. Compared to
Compare
the
that to the
entire size of
world.
the map.
But that's the thing, Hogwarts itself feels massive. If you were to go through every inch of Hogwarts, it'd take you about 10-20 hours. I don't mean run from one side to the other all the way up the floors.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
explore. But that to me
There's
just adds. It just
yeah,
adds
there's
so much more.
definitely tons of playtime.
Oh, 100%. And in my opinion, it's one of the most phenomenal games I've played for a long while. And I'm really happy I picked it up. Um, it's just. There's so much to say, but so little time to do so. And that is the truth of it, to be brutally honest. And all the quests that are there, all the different classes that you turn up to, even some of the challenges you get because you've learned a new spell. Like when I first learned Accio, which basically pulls things towards you, they did it by creating a little game for people to challenge each other in. That becomes an entire side quest that you can do where people keep challenging you and you can become the best at this game. It's a small thing, but it just became a little bit of fun to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was
I
saying
love that.
with every spell that you unlock as well, that probably gives you the opportunity to find more of these secrets because you
Oh,
needed that
100%.
spell.
Yeah, 100%. That's just the way it is. There's even some spells that you don't use like during attacks and things. So you got like your main set spells, utilities, that sort of stuff. But then you've got like quick spells. So like when you use Alhambra, I can't remember how to say it that's precisely, but it's the lock picking spell. Alhambra. Thank you. Um, when you use that spell, you just walk up to a lock and press F or interact, and then you've got a lockpicking minigame. And you've got to,
Nah, compared to
yeah,
Skyrim.
honestly, that minigame is the weirdest minigame I've ever played. Oh, and my girlfriend is making me mention there are hundreds of kitties to pet.
Are they cats or are they people?
There are cats.
Are you sure they're not people disguised as cats?
I cannot be certain, it's Hogwarts. You can never be sure. But no, there are so many mysteries that were left from Harry Potter that you can look into and actually spend some time learning about. There's a lot there because it's so long before Harry Potter was about or before any of the people from it was really there that you can explore new things and try out new things in that universe and see more. And it's just all I can really say is it's amazing. And you should definitely pick it up if you can. But
Yeah.
I think that leads us straight on to the next part of what we need to discuss. Don't you, Will?
Go on.
The
I know you're dying.
controversy.
Huh.
Oh, what a controversy it is. So, we discussed this briefly last week. Uh,
I just squished myself.
that was a bit loud.
Sorry.
So we discussed this a bit last week, and
Yeah.
what we primarily discussed about it was the actual premise of this. I'll give it its name that it actually is. A possible boycott of the game that was supposed to go about. Obviously, as you've seen the reviews as well as I have, they don't really line up, do they?
No, definitely not.
Boycott 132,195 reviews total and 96,356 for actual reviews categorized. I don't think that adds up very well.
Nope.
But the boycott basically came about because of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, whose team was worked with, her team was worked with, I need to specify that, in regards to making sure that the game fit the universe of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And personally, I think they nailed that. But J.K. Rowling herself was not involved. Now, the reason for the controversy is because J.K. Rowling in the past has actually stated quite a few transphobic comments and general LGBTQ against them. Comments against them, basically.
Basically, just being generally hateful towards them.
Yes, exactly. Now, in response to this, they had decided as a community that, well, I'll say as a community, but there are people against it within that community as well. It's just sadly in this case, it's a situation of the minority are against it in comparison to what it usually is. Now, in regards to this, they came out and basically said, boycott the game. And it became a situation of, if you do not boycott this, you are a horrid person. Some have used their common sense and gone, no, you're not. If you're buying it just to be a dick, then yes, you are. But if you're buying it because you genuinely want to enjoy it and you want to have fun, then fair play to you. Have fun. Enjoy the game.
Again, though, like, what kind of soul do you have to be to buy a game solely just to like say you're being a dick towards certain people?
You should see the amount of people who actually went out there to say that.
That's
It's
crazy to think
mental.
about, man.
It's the world we live in nowadays, mate, and it's mad.
Unfortunately, so.
But to basically go over it all, the stance me and Will took, and I just need to check, are you still of the stance of last week where we said
Oh, without
separation
doubt.
of art and artists?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a major point. Now, I have heard recently that people are moving the goalpost a little on that and saying separation of art from the artist should only really be done when the artist is dead. I don't really agree with that, but you're able to take whatever stance you feel free to. It's not really something for us. I'm not really of that idea personally. If I want to enjoy something, does not mean that I am immediately against another group. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I bought this game because, to be honest, I absolutely do love the Harry Potter stories. I know, Will,
I
you
mean,
were saying last week you like to rewatch them, the
yeah, I
films.
feel like there's very few people that disliked Harry Potter. You know, those that maybe it wasn't their kind of thing, they didn't like that sort of like super fictional stuff. Sure, but I feel like the majority of just people in general adored the Harry Potter films.
Oh, 100%. My dad's not into anything like that, but my dad will always sit down every year when Chamber of Secrets is on, and he will love watching it. It's the only one that he likes, but he sits and watches it because he loves it. But just because we enjoy something that has been created does not make us naturally a horrid person.
Yeah.
And that's what I think really needs to be touched on. And the fact that, well, last week we read out an article, and I spent most of last week editing away this article, and I will just basically use the video footage of that this week. Because there's no point in me scrolling through it all again when I've already got all the edited footage there ready, and I can just use it and just take the audio.
How'd you have that already ready, Roy?
You know how, Will. You know how. So let me just pull this article up. You still have the link, don't you, Will? I sent it you last week.
It's there, yeah.
I'm just gonna find it myself. So we can just discuss this article. I don't have to record the screen or anything, which is nice.
Yep.
The title of it: Hogwarts Legacy does not deserve to be reviewed on its own merits. Now,
Which we both instantly disagreed on.
100%. There's no reason at all that you should review something based on a person's politics, a person's hate, or anything else. There should be no reason for you to review something based on an entirely different situation. And I really do dislike that ideology. There was another argument that was put forward, as I discussed with you last week, where they were saying how the devs have already been paid and J.K. Rowling gets royalties from this product. True, she does. But as I also put forward last week, Fallout New Vegas, the developers would have got bonuses if they received above a 90 on Metacritic, a 90 or above. They were at an 89 on release date in reviews. 1 point under. But the company will still get that money. And years later, they actually got upped to 90. That saddens me to this day. But
it is unfortunate.
But yeah, the developers can still get higher pay depending on how well they do. So claiming that, oh, actually, it shouldn't be reviewed that way and the devs have already been paid. Yeah, but those devs have put so much time into it. Don't you think they could possibly be rewarded more for the absolutely amazing product
One
they've
thing I
made?
think we should maybe note is, as far as we know, JK had like nothing to do with the creation of the game.
Yeah.
She basically would have signed a piece of paper that said it's okay for them to make this game, so they don't do anything against copyright laws, and then that's that.
Yeah, they pretty much interacted with her team, and that was it. And her team will have probably just gone, yes, this works in the world. No, that doesn't. You'll need to change that. And that is pretty much it. It's either approval or denial.
So
That's
she
the top
basically
and
had
bottom.
no involvement in the game. So her views and opinions and the hateful things that she said towards people are nowhere in that game.
Yeah,
Nor were
exactly.
they like pushed. I doubt they were even pushed upon her team, and I would be willing to believe that her team disagree with her opinions. Although obviously they wouldn't say because they don't want to lose their job.
No, exactly. I mean, I've not heard much about their team, her team themselves, but I know for a fact the creators of the game had to turn around and went, mention something along the lines of basically, there is something for everyone in this game, and we are not against any group, without outright saying they're against the views of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah,
They
which is
just
the best way for them to put something like that.
exactly, it's the safest bet, to be honest. The other thing I will mention, there is a transgender character in the game, voiced by a transgender actor, and there is a lesbian character in the game. So that's a bit of interesting news, but the communities in question did actually bring up the name of the transgender character, because their name is Serona Ryan. And for some reason, they pulled this apart and went Sir Ryan. Don't really get it personally. Think it's just pulling at straws, but
Yeah.
that's my opinion on that matter. So, moving on with this dreaded article that I really don't like. As I said last week, and me and Will now put this across again. Do not harass the article's writer. No matter what you do, we don't condone it. We don't want anyone to be bullied, insulted, etc. We just want to discuss this article. It's not difficult to find. I expect that people will hunt for it. I'd rather they didn't. Leave it where it is. We're discussing the article, nothing more. We don't want people to be insulted, attacked, or harassed. Leave them be. Would you agree with that, Will?
Yeah, we don't want to direct any hit towards anybody because then we're sort of just being hypocritical ourselves.
Yeah, it's just a perpetual circle of bullshit at that point. So,
Yeah.
I'm really not for it. Anyways, whether or not we want to admit it, it is impossible to talk positively about Hogwarts Legacy without harming a community of human beings. Now, I've just talked positively about it for half an hour.
Yep.
I have not harmed a single person. It's not difficult to do so. Just because of what she's doing, there are alternate
It's
ways
not
of doing it.
difficult to be a decent person and say nice things about other people.
Exactly. I mean, as I briefly touched on last week, I have a transgender friend. They was actually donating proceeds to charity and doing a charity stream based on this game to do some good from a bad situation. Which, by the way, they successfully did the charity live stream over the last week, and everything went well. They had a good time, and I see them occasionally posting bits about it. And I think they raised about £250 for the charity, which is quite nice. But yeah, they were getting attacked as well due to the controversy about it, sadly, by the community in question. And it's just an unfair situation. But we'll move on so that we're not touching on the same topic for too long. To judge a creation purely on its own merit is often lauded as a fair and positive method of review. Why should a bad game be praised just because it comes from a normally brilliant creator? Why should a good one be vilified just because the mind that inspired it is ignorant or hateful? I mean, I agree with that. To judge a game of its own creation, yeah, that's fair. You need to be fair and give it a chance. I did the same thing with Hogwarts Legacy as I did with Forspoken. I gave it a shot, it just did not shrine to me. I also discussed last week about how, for some people, it will be worth it. For some people, there'll be some fun to have had. I know a friend of mine picked it up. He's absolutely loving the game. Me personally, didn't do anything for me, and I had a lot of bad things to say about that.
Yep.
If something is good, we should be able to enjoy and endorse it, even if we acknowledge the faults of its progenitor. Or progenitor? There we go. Perhaps even more so when that creation takes steps to distance itself from those now tainted roots, and offers support to the people who were wronged. An objective stance would only be fair, don't you think? Yes. I bet it would feel nice to be fair to judge Hogwarts Legacy by its merits alone, to look at the strides the developers have made to offer inclusivity and distance themselves from the hatred. Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh
sorry,
shit!
what's up?
How's that not worth more?
Huh?
I just got a random skin for Rust. I did. It's a green jacket, which is apparently only worth 10 pence. But given the prices of the green skins in Rust at the moment, just real quick, I know this is completely off topic. I
100%,
just
but I'm
I wanna
intrigued.
I wanna give you the prices of the skins for the green for like skinning like the metal and coffee can gear green. Because like if you're in a forest area, obviously fucking green skinned items are kind of OP. Like the whiteout kit in the snow, you just don't see people. There's a worse version of green. It's like like camo sort of green. Like, it's got the black and like the lighter greens in it. It's 12.50. That's for the worst skin. I need
Jesus.
to find. Is it the Forest Raider? I think it's called. Yeah, here we go. So I'm just gonna name all the prices. There's $6.99, $4.50, $14.97, $13.18, $5.46, $27.98, $18.99, $22, and $6.24. That's for every piece of
Christ.
armor. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces, and you're totaling to basically £100.
That's mental.
It is absurd. The whiteout at the minute isn't far behind. It's 7.13, 11.55, 1.24, 4.08, only 29 pence for the chest plate for some reason, 4.97, 3.05, and 6.22. When I looked at it a couple weeks ago, a lot of those prices were like doubled.
Jesus Christ.
It's fallen down a bit, but like they are like low key OP.
Yeah, the
Like if you're
market's got
sitting,
mental.
yeah, if you're sitting still in the snow, like I have full whiteout kit, I bought it ages ago, and it was like cheap as chips. Like I bought it for probably like £20 altogether. I could sell it for like 3 times that now. Near enough.
Bloody
I
hell.
I don't know. It's crazy, the prices of things right now.
Seems it. Anyways, we'll move back to the topic at hand. Good little sidestep
Oh,
there.
you were you recording that?
I was, yes.
You can edit it how you need to, I'm sure.
It'll be fine. But yeah, regarding this statement in question about how it would be fair to judge Hogwarts Legacy by its merits and to the strides that the developers have made to offer inclusivity and distance themselves from hatred. As I said before, they have a trans character, a lesbian character, and also something that's not touched on too much. You can make your character look however they wish, and you do not choose a gender for them. You choose a dormitory. So you can either choose a witch's or a wizard's dormitory. That's up to you. You can design your character how you wish and adjust the voice how you wish. So it's all your choice. You don't have to worry about those sort of things. To acknowledge that they aren't fair to blame and to just enjoy a franchise that one held such important meaning to me, it would be easier to be fair, believe me. To turn away from the discourse, ignore context and consequence, and just explore something I used to love. What a privilege to spend a few dollars and play a game in one of the formative worlds of my childhood, choosing not to think about where that money goes. Once again, they're paying a lot of interest to where the money's going, but they're only paying attention to it going to J.K. Rowling. They're not thinking about the rest that it goes to.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I know everyone knows Fine Nightly. It would be much nicer if she wasn't getting any of the money because, well, for obvious reasons. Like no one wants to give her money when she's having opinions like this and being towards people the way that she is. But as you're saying, like where some of the money is also going is going to help a lot of people.
Yeah, because it goes towards developers, it goes towards the games company itself, the investors of the game.
Yeah,
all
the amount of effort that they've put into making the game as well, like the developers, they definitely deserve something back, man.
Yeah, like this money will go to hundreds of places before it eventually hits her of however much she eventually gets.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
You know, as crap of a thing it is with the things she said and what's happening because of it, there's also some good has came up from it. For example, you're saying your friend he did a charity stream. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're not the only one doing that
No.
sort of thing. So there's going to be a lot of people as well getting support from charities, streams, and stuff like that happening.
There has been a few. I've definitely come
So
across a couple of them.
yeah, there's at least good things happening from all this as well. It's not all negative. It's not like people need to stop focusing on the fact that she's getting money out of this, even though she's been the way she has.
Yeah. Another point that we'll honestly follow up with this is a little further down. She discusses how if you purchase the game, if you praise its qualities and encourage others to support the developers or treat yourself to a guilty pleasure, you are making a choice that will harm the transgender community, whether you want to admit it or not. This statement might seem like a stretch at first glance, but for the sake of clarity, let's break it down. If you buy Hogwarts Legacy, you are doing three significant things. You're directly supporting the royalty checks J.K. Rowling will receive for use of a Harry Potter intellectual property. You're financially signalling to the wider market that the Harry Potter IP is profitable space, likely worth investing in with future titles. The more profitable the IP, the more money Rowling makes. You're socially engaging with the IP and potentially broadening its audience, encouraging others to engage with it as well. This inevitably leads to more people being exposed to Rowling's hateful beliefs and potentially adopting it themselves. Last week I made a point about that final point to start with, and that was that it does not matter how many people see what Rowling says. Does not mean that they're automatically going to adopt it and believe it. I'm not being funny. If J.K. Rowling appeared in front of me in person and said, if you jump off that cliff, it will be great. You do all these great things for the world. I'm not going to go and fucking just believe her and do it, am I? If she says something, I'm not immediately going to be on the idea, I'm going to believe that because she's influential. No. I'm a person. I have my own beliefs, my own understandings, and my own thought process. I'm not going to do that shit. I don't know how you feel about it, Will, but that's honestly how I feel regarding that.
Yeah, you're pretty spot on. Just because someone tells me their opinion doesn't mean I'm gonna agree with it straight away and think that they're right about everything.
No, I'd fully agree. Financially signalling to the wider market that the Harry Potter IP is a profitable space, likely worth investing in for future titles. Everyone, like most of the world, knows about Harry Potter.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's just the truth of it.
You have to be living under a rock at this point to not know about Harry Potter.
Exactly. It still sells lots of money to this day, and because of the amount of people that sell the products to do with Harry Potter and so on and so forth, there's a lot to do with it, and there's always going to be.
It's such a shame though, because as we discussed before, like Harry Potter for a lot of people when they were younger, including ourselves, was like a great thing of our time. You know, they were amazing to watch. We loved hearing about them, loved talking about them, and to see a game come out about them, it was like a dream come true. For like you had mentioned before, you know, it meant you could actually experience some of the things you would want to experience in the game for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see that because of what one person has said, because of how involved they were in Harry Potter, has completely ruined people's perspective of the game.
100%.
And it's just it sucks to see, man.
Oh, I fully agree, mate. Plus, my missus just said to me, she will earn about 40 pence per sale. Which, that adds up, don't get me wrong, it does. But, who does that add up more to? The developers? The company that those developers are working for that now is going to be able to hire more staff, work with better creators, and work with more brands to be able to create something even better the next time around? Or J.K. Rowling, who just sits around nowadays and doesn't really do much but post on Twitter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Harry Potter IP, all the different things that they sell under that IP, everyone knows it's already profitable. It's nothing new. They've known it for decades. I can walk into most shops and find something Harry Potter related. I walked into Tesco the other day and came across a Lego Harry Potter set. You know what I mean? It's nothing
With how
new.
big Harry Potter is and the amount of generations that grew up with it, it's not gonna go out anytime soon, man.
No, it's not. And to be honest, as much as I'm how I am, I have to say I would love to see another game based in that universe after what I've played. I think they could do some amazing things. I really do. That's my honest opinion. But I will scroll down just a little further and leave with her last. Sorry, not her. Their last notes. I do apologise. I read this last a week ago and completely forgot about the lines of what the writer actually goes by. So my apologies, pronouns there. This is the last lines that they wrote. Does buying Hogwarts Legacy make you a transphobe? Is one bad action enough to make you a bad person? After all, one bucket of sand doesn't make a beach, and one tree doesn't make a forest. But if you buy this game, you're making a choice. You're choosing to support J.K. Rowling, even if it's just in a small way. And if you knowingly weigh the costs and decide that your personal enjoyment of a video game is worth supporting a trans-exclusionary radical feminist, that indulging your nostalgia is more valuable than supporting the transgender community, well, one tree might not make a forest, but it sure is more than none. Trans rights are human rights. Now, I agree with the final line. Trans rights are human rights. Yeah, I fully agree with that. The point in between the two sentences about if you buy this game, that section, I'm not choosing to support J.K. Rowling.
No.
I'm choosing to support the developers, the industry, and pretty much everything else other than her. I don't support her views, I never will. Simple as. If I weigh the cost and decide that my personal enjoyment of a game is worth supporting a trans-exclusionary radical feminist, once again, the point lays and relies on the fact that I'm supporting her. I am not. I do not support J.K. Rowling, simple as. She might get 40 pence for the copy I've bought, and 40 pence for the copy I bought Will. But
yeah.
I don't care. It's not really going anywhere else, and at the end of the day, there are thousands of people all across the world who do horrific things. Like, as many people do state, there are children in factories making phones. We buy phones, the money goes to them, not the children, so on and so forth. Horrific comparison, yes. Similar concept, sadly so. And we all use mobile phones still, because we need them. We're in a society that does so. We might not need a game, but people like us use games to escape from reality. As do, I'm sure, many people in the trans community, the LGBT community, and so on. And if you're trying to restrict what worlds we can escape into, then what
You're
good
no
is it?
better.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so many people wanted to escape into the Harry Potter universe, trans, LGBT, whatever. Everyone wanted to escape there at some point, and being able to do that now should not be coming under a restriction of making you feel like a horrible person. That's all I've got to really say on that matter. But yeah, I think we've covered it just in time. Happy. I think we've covered it all just in time. I do apologise, by the way, throughout this episode. My girlfriend seems to be relatively shouty today.
Hey man, we don't know. We never know what they're doing, so don't question it.
Exactly. She's playing Hogwarts Legacy as we speak, actually. I can just see it on the other monitor. But yeah, I'd say we can leave this episode here then. And then we will move on to next week's episode. Yay!
Woo!
Because we recorded them both in one day, and I'm going to edit this one later, straight after. So, anyways, moving swiftly on. We hope you guys have enjoyed, and do feel free to do all the good things as subscribing, following, liking,
Liking, sharing.
yeah, leaving comments. That's one
Comments
thing.
would be awesome.
Yeah. There's one thing I will say. You can leave comments regarding this topic. Please don't attack our social media manager or anyone else regarding our opinions on this. If you want to discuss the point with us, one, I'm pretty certain it's still there. Just let me check. It is. In my Twitter, there is my Discord. If you want to have a discussion with me, I'm more than willing to sit and discuss it with you. Other than that, leave a comment just generally about the topic and your views. We will happily discuss them next week. 100%.
Yep.
Well, it'll be the week after now because of what's happened, but we're more than happy to do that. But please don't attack anyone. It just makes you a shitty person, really. There's no
Yeah,
need
we
for it.
don't. We also don't want to be the ones directing any kind of hit to anyone either.
Exactly. Just leave a comment about your opinion, feel free, and we can discuss that like adults, pretty much. But other than that, please feel free to leave a comment. Any information or anything that you think we could do better, we'll take any advice on board. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week. Bye
See
for
you
now.
next week.